So what's the plan today?
Today we're going to get rid of black mould off all of the aluminium hatches.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are we going to go about doing that?
Well, first of all we're going to wash it off with water, and then we're going to go around and with a spray solution of white vinegar and water and tea tree melaleuca essential oil.
Okay. So let's get it done.
Okay.
So we've just finished cleaning all of the topside windows and hatches. The rubbers are in surprisingly good condition considering the age of the boat. There was only one little thing with one hinge on the port aft berth. The whole rubber sort of hinge mechanism has completely disintegrated, so we're probably going to go and look for a replacement for that tomorrow. But in the meantime, this is what the aluminium frames and windows now look like without all the black mould on them. So I'd say that's looking pretty spiffy. Time for a beer. In last week's video I showed you the 4 terabyte hard drive that I inadvertently kicked off the bed and it broke. Now ideally these things should be taken apart in a clean room. Now we don't have the facilities on board for that obviously, and we really can't afford to send it off to a clean room to get done because it's 4 terabytes worth of data and they charge by the amount of data they recover. So you're probably looking at a 3,000 Australian dollar charge to get the data off this. So seeing as it's buggered anyway, what I'm going to try and do today is take it apart, find out where the heads are sitting, because the drive itself is spinning up but the heads are not locking. So if I can find out where those heads are, maybe I can push them back where they should be and maybe it'll work. So a specialist tool for this job because of the shape of the screw heads, and there are 6 around the outside that need to be removed, and then there's usually a secret one which is right there underneath the label. You can feel it with your fingernail. Yeah, there's the hidden one. Alright, so this is the delicate bit, making sure we've got no bits of fluff all over the place. And now we just have to prise the top off so we can actually get in to the inner workings. Now, this is your disk where all your data is stored. This is your drive head. Because it's a 4 terabyte drive, it's got lots of arms that go in between. There's several of these disks layered on top of each other. It's got several arms there that go in and read the data off the surface of the disks. There appears to be no damage to the actual platter itself, this big silver disk. However, it's my belief that the read-write heads is where the damage has actually occurred. Because, and to confirm that, when I spin this drive without the heads engaged, if you can get that closer for a listen, silence. But once I engage the heads onto the surface of the discs and then do the same thing with spinning it, have a listen. That's not a normal sound for a head on a hard drive disk. So that tells me that the actual heads themselves have got the damage. And once you've got damaged heads, theoretically you could find an exact copy from the same manufacturer with the same numbers and same everything, and take this head out and replace the head, and you should then be able to read the information off the disk. But with it making that noise, it means one of the heads is actually scoring into the platter, and finding an exact copy to replace the head is like trying to find hen's teeth, basically. Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, show them.
You can't see it.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to zoom in that close.
Oh.
But it's the... If you look at the top two, you can see they're good. If you look at the third one down and the fifth one down, you can actually see the heads hanging off the end of the arm.
Oh.
I'm not sure how close this camera will actually get, but yeah, the heads, the actual read-write head on the end of the arm, well, 4 of them are hanging off. And these are the heads here. That's those 1 and 2. Very, very small objects that read and write the data to a hard drive platter. So 4 of those were hanging off the end of the arms, and so that essentially just says, nah, cactus, ain't gonna work, not in a month of Sundays. And of course they will have damaged the surface of the disk anyway. Unfortunately, this one has gone to hard drive heaven.
Today my job is lining the cupboards. So I'm using this cupboard liner, which has got anti-slip bottom, and it's quite anti-slip on the top surface as well. And I've done one. The fun thing about this project is that every single part of these cupboards, every single cupboard, even the top to the bottom, is a different size because of the shape of the boat's hull. It may be 39 deep here, but it'll be 40 deep in that one. So I've got this one, I've got that cupboard to do, and that one, and that one. Basically all I'm doing is I'm measuring I have to measure the width at the back as well as the front, and I have to measure the width on both sides, and then I trace it. Well, actually then that's the basic shape, and so what I do then is I write the measurements down on there, transfer them onto here, cut. It's pretty easy, it's just a bit fiddly sometimes. Pleased with how that turned out. 3 more cupboards to go.
So good news, things are moving forward. We got Jose at the helm at the moment. He's taken us to the other side of the marina, where we're about to get our mast reseated in its proper place on the foredeck. And Jose's taken us all the way to that place over there, where that big crane is going to put our mast, which is hanging from it already, back into that socket on the foredeck there. So the mast climbing was just to release one of the backstay cables that was actually wrapped around the other side of the mast. So now Jose's got the slack to be able to get them across the top of the bimini and through the holes designated for them so they can be attached to the back of the boat. And now we're getting the foresail reattached to the forestay. They really made quick work of that, installing the foresail and the lines and running them all back to the winches and the jammers in the cockpit. So now we have a head sail or foresail or jib. See, everything's got a really different name and sometimes lots of different names for the same thing. It's crazy. As you can see from the back end of the boat, today is the day that the stainless steel davits and solar arch gets installed. The guy should be arriving in about an hour, but of course we'll show you the full installation process in next week's Sailing ABC video. In the meantime, if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave us a thumbs up, it really helps us out, and subscribe and click the bell icon if you want to receive notifications when our next video comes out. Thanks for watching and take it easy.